Welcome to the Husker Army Podcast with your host, Husker fanatic Ryan Knutson, former Husker wide receiver Kenny Cheatham, and Husker recruiting guru Matt Sass.
How you doing, everybody? Fall in, Husker Army. Welcome to the first episode of the Husker Army Podcast, brought to you by the Husker Army fan page on Facebook. Guys, here we are. I am one of your hosts, Brian Knutson. With me, as always, former Husker wide receiver, Mr. Kenny Cheatham. How you doing, sir?
I'm all right, my brother. I'm glad to be back.
Hell yeah, and always our Husker recruiting guru, Mr. Matt Sass. Matt, what do you think, brother?
So far, looking good, man. I like us this year.
I tell you, guys, I'm excited. I don't know what it is. It's what are we in? Year 5 now? I mean, we've been saying it for the last 4 seasons. God, I'm excited. I'm ready to go. But unfortunately, we've been met with some letdowns, and we set a record last year as, I believe, the first team in NCAA history to go 3-9, but outscore their opponents.
Yeah, that was amazing. It was shocking and amazing at the same time, but we did it. At least we can hang our hat on something, but make it positive out of the negative. But hey, we did it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
if you're gonna do it colorfully.
I mean, we're the best 3-9 team in the country, but that also makes you the most polished turd in the country. So
exactly,
it's put up or shut up time this year.
It absolutely is. It really is. All right, we'll get right into it. I mean, a little bit about today's episode. It's going to be really mostly all about you guys, the Husker Army, setting us up on Twitter, Instagram, at Husker Army Pod. You guys following us like crazy. I'll tell you what, this is picking up quick. You guys are awesome, sending us some questions. First and foremost, we'll talk a little bit about the scrimmage yesterday. I know you wanted to get into that, Matt. What did you see? What's your take from it?
So my takes from it is the wide receivers got a long ways to go. I mean, that's not a secret. Other than Omar Manning, I mean, there's a lot of new blood there. Yep. It's going to take a little bit of time. From everything I take is the defensive backs, especially the transfers we added, that are just studs all around. Like we might have a couple pros. Like that's everything I'm hearing. Offensive line, we had Turner Corcoran. He was sitting out, but other than that, I mean, there was no displeasure or anything like that. The coach thought they performed extremely well. Everyone says Casey Thompson, he's the shoe-in starter.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure by now. I mean, with everything everyone's been reading online, I mean, we all know that. But they say the quarterback position as a whole is by far and away better.
Good. So that's what we need.
They think defensive line is going to be a dog. They think it's going to be better than last year. And, I mean, that says a lot, especially with all the transfers and everything we got. So that's a plus. And we're still missing one defensive lineman. He doesn't get here until next week. So,
wow.
I mean, plus as a whole, that's huge. But the one downfall is everyone says that how do we replace JoJo Doman? And
that's
the big one. Because that's a big part of our defense.
Ooh, wow, that's a good question. They just have to find someone who wants to be that guy.
Yeah,
that's just going to make plays. You know,
they're talking Chris Kolarvik.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does he have a motor like that, or is he?
Oh, he's got a motor. That's not the problem. So, sorry, my son's getting ready to join us.
No big deal. Everything's always good here in the Husker Army, dude. It's not a big deal at all. All right.
We'll see how long he stays. I don't think he'll stay.
Kind of a hot take from the scrimmage that I saw on Twitter. It was Ben Gesford chimed in, kind of gave his hot take on it. Share it with you here. Let's take a look. Mr. Ben Gesford always, I mean, says O-line struggled today in practice. D-line is in mid-season form, in his opinion. Yeah. Defense is going to be salty. Running backs look good as well. I mean, that's really no secret, I think, about the running backs. We're pretty stacked there. But I mean, seriously, saying that the D line looks in mid-season form already, that's ridiculous. What do you think, Ken? Former player, you know what Ben's looking at.
That's not abnormal. Defense is always ahead of the offense. It's nothing new. It was that way when I was there. It's that way on every level. Offense, when you're dealing with more of the timing, the levels, the pad levels, the getting everyone on the same page, it's always behind. Offense normally clicks realistically after the first game. So you're going into the first game still with those glitches, and after that, that's almost like that warm-up run where you're really going, and then after that, you really start catching up. But defense is always ahead. I mean, when you're looking at a position where you can react more than be as precise as you have to be on offense, it's nothing new. I mean, our defense would be on our heads at the beginning, then once that turned over, then it was over. So
yeah, I agree with you too. I mean, offense is still, I mean, perfection is hard to come by.
Yeah.
Like you saw the LSU team a couple years ago with Joe Burrow. I mean, how phenomenal they were. But I mean, they had three first-round NFL draft picks, and one wasn't even playing.
Wow.
So it's hard to say. I get it. The defense is going to be light years ahead for now. Let them play a game.
Yep.
So it's Northwestern. We beat them by what, 40 last year?
Yeah, that was unusual though.
Yeah, but I mean,
rare circumstance.
Are they going to be 40 points better this year? And I don't think so.
No. And what do you think about his comments about the O-line struggling a little bit? I mean, that's coming from a former Pipeline member right there. And look, if he's saying they're struggling a little bit, is that more of a testament to him saying the defense is in mid-season form, or is that something you think we've got to worry about again this year?
More about the defense in mid-season form. I mean, like I said before, I've seen it firsthand where the defensive line has dominated the offensive line early in practices, going into summer camp, going to the first game, and then it turns around. So, like I said, once they get the kinks out, they'll be a lot better. And with the guys returning and the new guys, they'll be okay. So I wouldn't put too much into it right now. I would look at it and see, but if we're still being dominated after the first game and we're making mistakes and we see all of those things he's talking about, then we have an issue.
That's something we do have to eliminate, is the mistakes, the false starts, the illegal hands to the face, not stopping at the whistle, which I did not agree with in that Oklahoma game last year. That was crap.
Yeah, we know what that was.
Yeah, something like that.
Home cooking.
Yeah, man, love it. All right, guys, look, being this first episode, let's get right to it. Like I said, Husker fans are chiming in. Husker Army wants to know. They got questions. Hopefully we got answers. First question we got from @GWAD_1982. He's asking, what position group do you think we will be surprised by in a good way? And is there a position group that you think will be a letdown? Kenny, let's start with you. Who are you looking for position group to be the surprise?
Well, I expect the defensive backfield to be solid. So I'm not even going to touch on that.
That's what I'd go with too.
Yeah,
just hands down.
That's standard. I mean, I think over the last couple of years they've improved greatly. And under Coach Fisher, they're really on it. And I think the depth in which they have is special. Let down. Ooh, I hate to say let down because we're dealing with the kids here. So
yeah,
I'm wondering if
maybe not so much a letdown, just one you may be kind of questioning going into the season.
Sorry.
For me, the tight end group. What is the tight end group going to do this year with the losses?
See, Kenny, this is where me and you are on the same boat, because I same question, I would have said the exact same answer. Like to a T. We have Travis Vokalek, but after him, what do we have? And that's what scares me. Is Thomas Spadoni going to step up? I mean, I hear Brewington, he's pretty much stepping up big time, but he's a tweener. He's not a tight end size. He's 220 pounds. So that worries me a bit. But
How tall is he?
Who?
The one you said that's 220. How tall is he?
Like Chris Rington?
Yeah.
I think he's only like 6'3", 6'4".
Well, I played at
So
228,
he's not
man.
enormous, but I mean, he's not a true tight end. I mean, but he's like the most vicious blocker we have.
Okay. So he's a hybrid.
The dude
So he's a
throws
hybrid.
blocks, and I mean, he showed it last year. I mean, he sacrifices every ounce of energy he has into anyone that he's going to block. So I like that.
I will agree with you guys as far as like you said, not so much a letdown position, but one you're really questioning going into the season being tight ends. But I can't believe for the one you would be most surprised to see in a good way is, guys, our kicking game.
Ooh.
I think it's going to be stellar this year.
Same. Oh, Brian.
The kicking game, Kenny. The kicking game.
The
length of the kicking game.
Timmy, he was outstanding. And the next best part is he's already played in Ireland. He's already played in that stadium in high school.
Yep.
Like that atmosphere ain't gonna phase him.
No, not at all.
He's good. He's already done it.
Probably gonna be hard for the coaches to keep him away from having a pint.
Now you guys see my face, and you know, I was on tirade last year about the kicking game and field goal and punting and all of those things. You know, I just was as livid as anyone can be. So hopefully, woosah.
Well,
hopefully, we make a vast improvement in that area because it is surely needed.
Kenny,
we could have won
you
a lot of games. Bush? No, I haven't.
No? Okay, so I met him a couple years ago, and I mean, not even talking about football, this man is all business.
Okay.
He is all business. He'll get it straightened out. Trust me on that one.
I mean,
there's no bullshit about this man. It's one way or the other, like in everything when it comes to in life. I mean, he'll get it straightened out. And from everything I'm hearing so far is it's Timmy's job.
Okay.
I mean, he's going to be handling the field goals.
Cool. So, because it's been downhill ever since I saw Good Buddy do the onside kick and fall over. Who was that against? Ohio State a couple years ago?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I rewound that a bunch of times. I rewound it, grabbed my cell phone and recorded it and was like, this can't be live. This cannot be happening.
Right. I think the president's out of practice right now. The one quote I heard was a couple of players got asked, what's the hardest part about practice? And they all, and I mean every single one of them said the end of practice doing special teams. Oh. So I like that. I do.
Okay. All right, guys. Hey, we'll move right along. Next one on Twitter comes from Big Red Rundown, at Big Red Rundown. Check him out. He's asking, outside of Casey Thompson, who is the offensive player you are most excited to watch this season? And who is the sleeper pick as well? All right, Matt, let's go with you first. Who's the offensive player you're most excited to see this season?
It's got to be easy just because, I mean, I follow all this, and it's Trey Palmer.
Really?
Hands down.
All right.
He's a 5-star receiver coming out of high school. And this is no opinions. He was brought here to do one thing, that was catch footballs and do your job and get the stats, get the touchdowns. That is hand down, first and foremost, without saying Casey Thompson, in my opinion.
All right, who would be your sleeper pick?
I mean, that's not a sleeper.
Who's your sleeper pick then?
My sleeper pick is probably Isaiah Castaneda, the transfer wide receiver from New Mexico State. I mean, that kid's coming in. He's a stud. All the coaches love him. I don't think one after him, it's still a wide receiver, and it's Alante Brown. We really don't know what we have a lot from Alante Brown, but right now it seems.
Oh, we lost Matt. That's all right.
Lost Matt. Oh, he's back.
Now he's back. All right, Kenny will go to you.
It's happened running out of farm.
Kenny, who you looking forward to seeing on the offensive side this year?
Ramir. Looking forward to
Ramir
seeing
Johnson. Yeah, absolutely.
We saw what he can do in spots. Hopefully this year they get the running back group to where it's not a rotation and someone can get a pace. And I really want to see him get loose. I like the kid. I like what he does when he's out there. He makes people miss. He hits the field. He runs. He catches the ball. So I'm looking to see him. And I'm not good with all the names yet. And that's just being honest.
I want
the DN that transferred in.
Sean.
Yeah.
Sean
Mathis.
I've watched film a little bit on, YouTube, etc. But
when he played at TCU?
Yeah, but you guys know me. I'm more of I wait to see.
Yep.
I'm no hype train.
I mean, like me and Brian, we can watch football and we'll be like, oh man, this kid's gonna be a dog. But then you're gonna watch it and be like, you kidding me? This kid's lazy or something like that.
Kenny sees things in him that we don't. He played the game at that level.
I mean,
but you know what I mean? I just want to see him. I mean, it's so many names with all the transfers and all the kids coming in.
It's so hard to keep track of.
And then I'm not there. So my information is based off what I get on the internet. And what I see people posting, the Twitter, the Huskers.com, etc., Facebook groups. But those two, especially the DN, because I've watched them work. And if we haven't had, and I've said this before, you guys know, last couple of years, someone consistently putting pressure on the QB. We've had pressure, but not to where they feared our pass.
Thanks, bud.
And if we can get that, hey, with the secondary and the linebacker group staying active, there's going to be some problems. The defense is going to be fine.
Oh, yeah.
It's just let's see what the offense can turn into with the addition of Casey Thompson and the other skill position players.
And see, my answer is simple, gentlemen. My answer is the same young man for both questions. And that's Jock Hesiant. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, you love your running backs. You're kind of a homer when it comes to running backs, Brian.
I'm telling you, I wasn't wrong about Ozigbo. I'm not wrong about Yant. I'm telling you right now. I am not wrong about Yant.
Did you see that Twitter video of Applewhite coaching Yant the other day?
Yes.
He handed him off the ball, and he goes, God gave you a gift for this moment right here. And it's called goal line.
Yes.
Just do the damn thing, dude. You should have like 15 touchdowns this year. When we're inside the 10, just give it to Yant. Plain and simple.
And fall forward, big boy.
Exactly.
He will.
Think like Jerome Bettis and just go.
Lower that shoulder and fall forward.
Exactly.
All right, sorry about that, guys. Hey, Zoom does what it wants to do. So, hey, we're splicing this in. Hopefully it didn't jump too much on you. So we'll just, we're going to jump right back into the questions from Twitter, from the Husker Army. All right, this one's coming from @HuskerBarker. He says, Husker fans are known to be some of the nicest, in quotes, fans. Buckeye fans are known as some of the most annoying. What are the 3 nicest and the 3 most irritating fan bases you have seen in person? For him, he's got Virginia Tech, Michigan, Purdue as being the nicest. And then his naughty list would be Ohio State, Iowa State, and Colorado. Now, Colorado's there's no surprise there.
It's no ifs or buts, man. I mean, for me, not even joking, it's Colorado, probably number 1. Colorado, and then I lived there for 7 years, and Miami fans, they're salty. They're very salty, so they don't like it a whole lot.
Hurricane fans, yeah.
After that, to be honest, I would probably, I don't run into a whole lot, but every time I do, especially anyone that watches college football, it's Kansas fans. Just because, we beat the fuck out of Kansas.
Kansas State.
But no, part of my language, but Kansas fans, they don't like us. Like, how many times did they beat us? For years, they beat us, one time?
Yeah.
One time. They finally have one good team and beat us, and they hate us. Like, like true, like everything in their entire program screams, we hate Nebraska. And I'm fine with it. It's, you know what? I mean, well, just be better. I mean, if you want to beat us, well, beat us, but you couldn't. So tough shit. Sorry. Bye.
Yep.
Or Baylor. I mean, did we ever lose to Baylor in the Big 12? I don't think we did.
I don't think so.
We did
I
not.
think it's the only team in the Big 12 that never beat us. But
It may be.
There's no Baylor fans. I mean a Baylor fan. Now we're in the Big 10. Like I don't meet Baylor fans. So
Right.
I don't think I've ever met one. I've met Kansas fans, and yeah, they're salty, but whatever.
What about your three nicest, Matt? Who you got for the three nicest fan bases?
Iowa State fans are actually pretty cool.
Okay.
I've never had a problem with any Iowa State fans. I run it because of my job. I run into a lot of Iowa State fans. I will never say Iowa, but they're not horrible either. It's like they have respect for us and they feel bad for us. And that pisses me off, but I mean, it's not in a bad way. Like I'm telling you right now, Iowa, you better be ready because we're coming at you this year. Like we will be ready. Like we were ready the last 3-4 years. So I'm telling you right now, you better bring your fucking A game. Otherwise we're going to whoop your ass.
Amen.
And I honestly think that, like, just plain and simple. Nice fan bases. God. I mean, I hear a lot about Virginia Tech, but I mean, there's no reason for us to really ever talk to Virginia Tech fans.
Right.
No, not really.
I mean, we had those 2 regular season matchups. I think they won both of them. I'm pretty sure they did. So I don't know. I'm not very nice when it comes to college football. Because a lot of people don't like us. I mean, we ran the 90s. We ran the 80s. We ran the 70s. We ran the later part of the 60s. I mean, most people don't like us. We were the epitome of college football for 40 years. So, I mean, a lot of people don't like us. I mean, if you ask me about Alabama now, I'm going to go, I'm tired of hearing about them.
Well, of course, we all are. I mean,
a lot of people, I'm sure, were very tired of hearing about Nebraska. I mean, Iowa State is one where they really don't, but I mean, they're our little brother. Yeah,
they really are.
I mean, and they know that. They're not dumb. I mean, they're right out of Omaha. They're the closest fan base to us.
Yep.
So, I mean, they get it. We got the facilities. They don't. We have more money than them. They don't. We have a better football team. It's just what it is. And I'm sorry to say it, but I mean, they probably have a better head coach right now, but it still remains to be seen. I mean, Matt Campbell's doing great things down there, but it's still, for us, he's still getting going.
Yeah,
he might be able to turn it around and get us to a 9-10 wins a season. And then what's that make Matt Campbell look like? But I want to see Iowa State on our non-conference schedule. I do. I think Big 12 teams on our non-conference schedule, I think it's the greatest idea on earth. And that's why we're playing Oklahoma this year. And I love it.
Kenny, who you got? Yeah, as a former player, dude, you've got to have at least 3 fan bases you don't ever care to see again.
Colorado.
Amen.
Kansas State.
Yep.
And Texas.
Yeah.
I
think I could agree with all 3 of those.
If I had to choose, I mean, he's pretty spot on. I mean, but again, I don't talk to a lot of Kansas State fans. I mean, I run into Texas fans, but they dominated us.
They just, my interaction with them, the nastiness with Colorado because of that rivalry, the arrogance of the Texas fans who hadn't done anything other than until the Vince Young championship, as if they've done so much. Your conference folded. You couldn't maintain your conference. You had to join us. And you cried about everything that we had, that they, because of your financial backing, they modified our conference for you. People have to understand, Coach Osborne wanted to go to the Big Ten prior to that, after when he found out that. So that was nothing new. So, and then Kansas State, who my senior year got that win against us, and boy, oh boy, you can't tell them anything. They all of them acted as, and Kansas State hasn't done anything, but they acted as if they had done something to poke their chest out, as if they're like they're this dominant program. So it just rubbed the wrong way. Texas, just the arrogance, oh, we're University of Texas, we're UT. Yeah, but you were very mediocre and trash in the trash conference. Reason Arkansas left, and you were playing SMU and Rice and all those schools, and you couldn't even hold that conference. And, Colorado's just Colorado. But nicest fan base, I have to go with, man, Iowa State was always cool. Believe it or not, Oklahoma was always cool and cordial because it was that respect
Oklahoma
thing.
showed respect.
Yeah, because it's that respect
all about
thing.
respect.
It's that respect thing. And outside of that, I would have to say, I played them a couple times, but they were cool, the fans. Texas A&M and even Oklahoma State. So it's kind of on that. Oklahoma State fans were cool. Texas A&M fans were cool because, once again, they haven't done anything to be poke their chest out. That's why I didn't understand the K-State thing. At least Colorado, that shared national championship. At least they, but Texas
shared national championship because you got a fucking fifth play.
So but those are my book. But I haven't really had any interactions with the Big 10 teams. But if I did, just from how I hear them do a lot of boss talking, Wisconsin, I wouldn't like. Definitely not Iowa, because they have their hat to hang on for the last couple of years. And if we played you back then, this and that, you did play us back then. You got your
ass whooped.
Got thrashed on the regular.
Yeah, thrashed is an understatement.
Everyone wants to hang their hat on because of the state our program is in now. But when we were the big bad wolf, they knew they were coming to get their, thrashed. And I'm trying not to curse. I want to just light it up.
I know.
But
being new, we got to kind of take it easy for once.
Yeah, but
I know. And I'm the one
dude, Matt, don't worry about
I'm
it.
the country boy.
And even Michigan.
Bars.
Yeah, and even Michigan for me. Yeah, even Michigan for me. They do a lot of the fans are cool, but there's an arrogance because it's the University of Michigan.
Yeah.
And outside of the one they gifted you with the tie, they tried to give you the tie with us. You hadn't done anything since like 1947.
It'll always be 97.
So I mean, we knew it. We were playing Ohio State was the bully in that conference. We knew that, and they're still the bully.
I'll tell you the three most hated I've got. Yeah, I'm with you guys. Number one, first foremost, Colorado. That's a given. I don't care. Nobody will ever take that spot.
No
but actually,
about Colorado.
in a
their
close
own fans
second,
don't care about Colorado.
In a close second, man, Iowa. They're a thorn in our side right now. I mean, they've won 7 straight. It's irritating. Their fans are irritating. I can't stand them. I always call them I-O-duh. I don't care about Iowa fans.
Yep.
Really
hey, Iowa's got bad corn, man. But until we can beat them, they're going to say whatever the fuck they want.
Right.
And the other one, number 3 is Kansas State. Their fans, in my opinion, were horrible, especially that final year we played them in 2010. Completely stomped them in Manhattan with Martinez, and they were so butthurt that we were leaving, and we got the last laugh before we got out of there.
Wasn't that a Thursday night game?
It was a Thursday night game.
Oh yeah,
and it was a thrashing.
Manhandled them.
Is that when he rushed for like 27 touchdowns? It was something like crazy.
It was ridiculous.
It was unreal, man.
The Heisman talk was real after that.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Just watch the highlights of the game. It's Taylor Martinez running up and down the field on him. I think he had like a 70-yard touchdown, a 60-yard touchdown, like another 75-yard touchdown or something like that. It was on a Thursday night. It was just breathtakingly gorgeous.
Now, as far as my 3 nicest, I've honestly, number 1 for me is Oklahoma, because like you guys said, that ultimate respect between the fan bases and the programs, it's always been there. The great rivalry, the great games, the great coaches, the great players. Yeah, it's just
it is all about
abundance of respect.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, I've got to go with you guys.
We were supposed to get our ass kicked last year, man, and we walked in there and gave them one hell of a game. Everything they could possibly handle.
Iowa State's number 2. Their fan base has never bothered me. They've had some good teams here and there. Mm-hmm. They've had some good seasons. They're coming up. I'll be honest, the last couple of seasons, I wouldn't have wanted us to play against them. Mm-hmm. But number 3, as far as likable fan bases, Man, that's tough because I'm with Matt. I'm so ingrained to college football that other than our own, there's not very many I would even consider liking. So there you go,
Understandable.
Husker Army.
Understandable.
Your questions. Hopefully we got them answered for you. All right, we got about. Let's see what do we got here. We
I
got
like
about
North
roughly-
Dakota State.
North Dakota
I'll root
State's
for
a
North
good fan
Dakota
base.
State. So that's a good fan base.
All right, we got
So
about.
that's what I'll say.
We're gonna run about 3 to 5 minutes more here, Matt. We need to get some quick recruiting news in, and let's talk about one young man, Mr. Malachi.
Yeah, this is plain and simple. I mean, Husker Nation is fully aware of the impact and everything of getting this kid. He's the number one recruit in Nebraska. Just released his top 7 yesterday. I mean, this is major schools in the country. It's Malachi Coleman.
Yep.
I mean, he's one of the best athletes in the entire country. I mean, people want him for defense. People want him for offense. We want him for a wide receiver. We're holding a spot for him.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. Right now, I honestly believe that Nebraska is leading. But anything can change. He's taken a lot. He's going to take every official visit. And he loves Mickey Joseph for obvious reasons. I mean, all Mickey does is just churn out first-round draft picks to the NFL.
Mhm.
Yep.
So, I mean, this kid's a beast. I think the last time I looked, he's like, what, 6'4", 6'5", like 200 pounds. He's going to gain a lot of muscle when he gets to college. I mean, think like a skinnier Megatron. Like,
Wow. That's saying a lot, Matt.
this kid's a beast. He is a beast. I mean, he is a very, very, very talented special athlete, especially to be coming out of Nebraska. When he gets to college, he's going to blow up even more when he gets great coaching instead of high school coaching. So I think we're leading for him right now, but he's going to be taking a lot of other visits. And
Yep.
I mean, he's got Michigan on his top list of 7. He's got Georgia. I mean, he's got heavy hitters after him, but I think right now, as of right now, we are leading for him.
I can handle that. I really can. I mean, like you said, you're coming into a coach like Mickey Joseph, who, as you said, just churns out first-round draft talent at that position.
3 in the last 4 years, man. I
Amazing.
mean, those numbers are hard to put a number on, and 2 of them they're superstars in the NFL. I mean, you're talking about Jamar Chase and Jefferson from the Vikings. I mean, those are 2 of the top wide receivers in the entire NFL. I mean, I don't know if you know anything about fantasy football, but when you're going to draft your team, those are 2 draft picks you want.
I'll take it.
I agree.
Yep.
I mean, think about it, Kenny. Kenny, what would it have been like if, say, you had a coach like Mickey Joseph coaching you back when you played here? I mean, do you think the next level would have been a no-brainer?
I mean, absolutely. Absolutely. I think it would. I mean, no brainer if we threw the ball. So, I mean, that's it was fine then. I mean, it was just a harder route for me because of the numbers. People forget I did sign and was with the Giants when I got in that car accident, got hit by that drunk driver. So, I mean, it would have been a lot easier. But I mean, he brings something that the kids like. And these days, these kids like honesty and they like you to be upfront. We're in a different era. We're in a different era. These kids have a different mindset. And some of them
he's a no bullshit coach. He coaches like he was being coached from the 90s. Like, we demand excellence. And that's what Nebraska is based off of. I mean, that was Tom Osborne's motto, and Mickey Joseph, he brings that now to Nebraska. There is no bullshit. I'm gonna coach you hard, and I'm gonna tell you the truth. And if you don't like it, well, you better like it.
So sad, right?
You better like it because it's the truth.
All right, gentlemen. Well, once again, we're about out of time. So this is where we'll go ahead. We'll end the first episode of the Husker Army Podcast. Hopefully we answered your questions well. As always, you can find us on Twitter and Instagram at Husker Army Pod. Man, give us a follow. Any former or current players, coaches, even official mascots, if you follow us, you're enlisted. You're getting enlisted into the Husker Army podcast. So I will go ahead and sign off for myself, Brian Knutson. Kenny, any following words while we leave?
Oh man, I think this year is going to surprise a lot of people.
Same.
I love it.
It's
All
gonna
right,
surprise a lot of people.
gentlemen, great first episode. Can't wait to put this out for the Husker Army and Husker Nation to hear and watch. Be able to find us on YouTube. Be setting that thing up. Page will be set up as soon as you get on there to watch this. Should set it up as a Husker Army podcast. Of course, be easy to find. So, guys, until next time, Husker Nation at ease, and you are all dismissed.